lead us in the pledge, please?
Sure will. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The minutes for the August 21 meeting were distributed. Are there any comments, additions, whatever? Entertain a motion for approval.
Mike, and I'll second it.
Okay, Mike
This one.
I didn't see his. Mike Churro makes the motion, Charlie seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Carried. Treasurer's report.
Okay. Come on. First one will do codes, single sheet. One voucher this month. The fire prevention materials and code for codes. The back of the page has the checking and savings account listed. Okay, so we have one codes voucher, we have no overtime vouchers, 6 credit card vouchers, 40 district vouchers, and 2 reserve vouchers, one for the bunker gear and one for that new Ford Explorer. And we'll look at the report, first page to the top, the assets, and the bottom, the liabilities for this month. The inside pages are the first is the budget versus the actual. And I listed out there the numbers of the part-time firefighters, the EMTs, their number and what they were paid for August 25th.
Where's that? Where is that?
Page 2.
Page 2. I don't have a page 2. We're missing pages.
Oh, how about that?
We're missing a lot of pages.
We only have page 1, 3, 5.
No.
Your odd page is printed, not your even.
Oh, come on, I got it. I got it. You're the same with you? You don't have? No. Well, how could the machine print?
Did you do double-sided or?
Yeah, I got
Well,
double-
you probably hit the wrong thing. It's
Oh,
doing everything.
my apologies, my
We
apologies.
don't have everything.
Nobody's got it.
It's doing every other page.
How they even pay, but,
You probably had it, you either hit double-sided and it wasn't double-sided, or you,
okay, all right, that's all right. I'll have to put that out for next
When
month.
he's done, I will make copies.
it's gonna
Oh,
take
well, here, wait a minute, I've got another one.
Just give him one.
Yeah, thank you.
Can I have all the
Yeah, make
pages?
sure you got it.
Oh,
it doesn't.
No, that doesn't need it.
Yours is the only one that has all of them.
Never mind, Bill, do your report.
okay. Well, wait, you want me to wait and do my report later and then go like these copies?
It's up to you guys. I'll at least make 5 for you guys.
Probably ought to.
Okay.
I'll wait a minute.
Well, no, yeah, we'll ask Mark to make some copies. In
Okay.
the meantime,
Thanks.
So at least you and them are on the same page.
Yeah,
No pun intended.
Yeah.
okay.
Do you know how to do it on there? So
Okay, so I can mention this service awards. Oh, I don't know if you have that page either.
it's missing
well,
every other
if
page.
you want to go on and we'll come back to you.
Yes, yes, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Let's go on to correspondence, Amy.
The Fire District Affairs was received and distributed, and the Onondaga County Office of the Board of Elections gave us the dates for 2024 elections. Presidential primary April 2nd, federal primary June 25th, and general election November 5th, 2024. I think that's all.
why don't we go ahead with your report?
The new radio batteries have been ordered. We're scheduled to receive them by the end of September. The second chief's vehicle has arrived and is on the schedule for a radio equipment install along with the lights, lettering, and striping. I believe we just received a quote, right, for this lettering and striping, so had to go there. All large fleet vehicles have been inspected and the PMs have been completed. Special events coming up. We got the Palmer School evacuation drill. It's going to be September 21st. This is the one that was delayed from last school year. There is a contingency date of the 22nd.
22nd?
That's the contingency date. The date that it's supposed to happen is the 21st. It says, I wrote here that there's no additional resources needed. It's simply going to be them just coming into the fire station. We just need to have one person here to open it at 2 o'clock. Touch a Truck event at Abbott's Farms is September 30th from 10 to 4. In the stations, the Station 2 bathroom drawings are back and the bid package is being reviewed and should be ready to go out by the end of the month. I'll get that to you. I'm done with it, so I'll be coming over to the commissioners this week. The chiefs are continuing to do one duty night a week. It says for the next 2 months. We're going to be evaluating it this month and make a decision on which direction we're going to go with that. Volunteer members are still continuing to work shifts with the paid staff. The feedback has been positive, drills and the call response. Daily drills are ongoing. All active members are always welcome to participate. And an invitation has been sent to Northwest Fire District. If they wish, they can attend the drills also. That's it, Chief.
Questions for Chief Root? Chief Corcoran, you have it.
Not a lot to report, or really nothing to report, because you folks are all familiar. You see the purchase requests going through for some of our medications that we carry are starting to come up on expiring, so we're getting those ordered and then dispersed out. Some other equipment that members have pointed out to me that are coming up expiring, I put in requests for those. One of the projects we've been working on as a result of some of the training that's been taking place, EMS training has been taking place, is we're going to enhance the bags for the members carry in their personal vehicles to include some trauma, bleed, bandages, and dressings, so that if they respond to one of those in their personal vehicle, they have the ability to control the bleeding. So we're closing in on that, and then we'll probably start visiting the next stage of putting together I'll call it a mass casualty, but a traumatic incident involving numerous people where we have numerous patients to treat. We'll put together a bag for those type of situations. So other than that, that's all I've got.
Questions for Ralph? Is there a report from Chief Street?
That was incorporated in mine.
Okay. Building facilities, this would be long-term. Diane?
That's my turn.
Not sure. Nothing. New truck committee. We need to designate a signer for the contract for the new rescue pumper. So we need to authorize someone to sign that contract. The contract at this point, Diane, you have talked to them. That engine problem is resolved, right?
Correct.
And we have a final price, I think, in the contract.
Correct.
So, do you want to sign the contract?
Yes.
Okay, so I make the motion that Diane Rafkus be authorized to sign the contract with Colden for the new rescue pumper.
Do you have to be able to sign it when it's delivered to the same person?
Well, we could add that, authorized to sign the contract and authorized to sign for delivery. You want to add both of those to it?
You can.
I mean, we might just as well, rather than wait.
One person is best
Yeah, okay.
from beginning to end.
So.
Well, do you
would
want to
we
say
just-
contract, change orders, and delivery,
That sounds good.
right?
Is that what we did with the first one?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I made that motion and somebody seconded it. Charlie seconded it. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, so that is to sign the contract, change orders, and delivery. Okay, that's good. Life Center Public Safety, the next meeting is tomorrow night here at Station 1, and the townwide drill at the Oswego Training Facility, September 30th. Tomorrow night we will be talking about the new Engine 91, Squad 91, EMS 91, I think that's a better term. Engine 91, EMS 91 website that we're developing. Mark's not back yet. Budget and finance, we have, I distributed to the board, and it's in the packet tonight, the preliminary proposed budget. I've been doing some deep thinking, and I would like to propose that we schedule a special meeting to revisit the portion of the budget line items for paid staffing to include options for our consideration. So basically, I want to revisit the portion of the budget with line items for paid staffing. So I make that motion.
I'll second.
Mike seconds. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I oppose.
Diane opposed. Okay. Motion's carried. So we need to schedule. According to town law, we need to adopt a preliminary budget by next Monday. So can we schedule something this week? Do we need days? Can we do nights? Who's available? Let's see. I think it would be nice to have a few days to put some numbers together. Is anybody available during the day or evening, Thursday or Friday?
During the day is out for me.
What?
And during the day is out for me, and Thursday evening I cannot.
Okay. How about the 22nd, Friday evening?
I'm out of town Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
What's that?
I'm out of town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, how about Wednesday night?
This Wednesday?
Yeah. Because we have to adopt something by the 25th. I hate to leave it till the 25th in case we have a flood or something. And,
Yeah, I got a meeting the 20th, Wednesday,
in the evening,
in the evening. Yeah.
could you do like 6 o'clock or something, or 5 o'clock?
I can do during the day if you want to do during the day.
Diane
I
can
can't
do
do
during the day. What's the latest you could do during the day?
5:30, 5 o'clock.
5:30, okay. You're out of town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Correct.
Thursday, like 6 o'clock before drill.
My son has a game, I'm not gonna miss a game.
Wednesday was out totally, 6 o'clock Wednesday,
Yeah.
5 o'clock Wednesday.
4 o'clock Wednesday.
Well, then we're getting into Diane's time. When will you be back on Sunday?
Sunday night. If you want to do, I have a meeting here at 6:30, so if you want to do Wednesday night, we can do it here, but the meeting will be in here and we'll have to meet wherever.
Well, it has to be a public meeting, so we have to have room for,
Yeah. So Wednesday's out. Sorry.
That should be at 8:30.
8:30.
We'll be done by 8. I don't anticipate we'll be longer than 8 for that meeting.
So you're thinking Wednesday at 8 is a possibility?
Yeah.
The 20th, Wednesday, at 8 o'clock. Here.
That works for me.
Good?
Yep.
I knew we could come up with something.
I was getting nervous.
Yeah. Okay, Wednesday, the 20th, 8 o'clock, here. Okay. Next item. IT committee.
do you want to schedule a budget hearing? We need to set a date for that.
Right, okay, our budget hearing, last year we did the budget hearing the same day as our business meeting because it's okay to have it on Monday of that week now. So our regular meeting is October 16th. We could hold the budget hearing prior.
6 o'clock?
So, what'd you say?
6 o'clock?
Yeah. I mean, even 6:30.
I think that's what we did in the past, 6:30.
6:30.
6:30?
Give me time to get out of work.
Oh, okay, well, that's a problem for you, yeah. And if for some reason it runs long, then our business meeting, we just start at 7:15 instead of 7 or something. Okay, so budget hearing at 6:30,
Wednesday the 20th, this Wednesday.
commissioner at 7 as normal. And that would be here.
October 16th.
Okay, so we scheduled the hearing date. All right, next item is IT committee.
So you're not going to discuss any of the budget tonight itself of what you handed out? You're going to wait until that meeting on Wednesday?
Correct.
I have nothing to report.
No, nothing to report. Personnel is requesting an executive session to discuss personnel. And so that will happen later. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. Sir?
Okay, Bill, we can come back to you.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so I'll start again. We have 1 codes, no overtime, 6 credit cards, 40 district vouchers, and 2 reserve vouchers. 1 for the bunker gear and 1 for the new Ford Explorer. And we'll go back to the report, front page, top, the assets, bottom, liabilities. Page 2 and 3 is the budget versus the actual, and I printed out what Mark had suggested for the payroll expenses. I listed their numbers and what they were paid. The new part-time EMTs. Page 4 and 5 is the previous year comparison. Six, 7 is the payroll account. And on page 7, you'll see I figured out for August how to get it to say something there on the blank spaces. So from now on, we should have some words there. 8, 9, 10 are the bank account pages. Uh, 11 is the service awards, and under the service award, we took a loss this last month. $22,207.79 loss, leaving us with a balance of $883,932. That should be a minus in front of the 22,207. It didn't print there. And that was from Dave Rakowski. I had to call him to get the figures. It hasn't been mailed yet from Lincoln, so I didn't have any paperwork from Lincoln, but Dave gave me the numbers. Page 12 is the referendums. And I added August 23rd, the car payment there, $43,000, top of the page, $777.68. I also added the referendum number 6 towards the bottom for the new gear, but I haven't transferred that yet because the voucher's here for you to sign. Once the voucher's signed, then I'll transfer the money. I haven't transferred it yet because you might say no to the voucher.
Oh.
So that's why that hasn't been transferred. That's what the not yet means. I haven't transferred that yet. Page 13 is the principal and interest. The last for this year is in December 15th, $40,000 payment for principal and almost $3,000 for the interest. 14, 15, 16, 17 are the vouchers for tonight. And look at that total, that's the first. $250,000 in expenses, and that's because the permissive referendums show up on the vouchers. So we have a total of, where's the permissive referendum? $107,000 in permissive referendums. That would come off of that figure, so that brings it back to normal. Okay. And if you would add to our total of that $250,000, a drone bill just came in for $475. So that increases that $250,571. You need to add $475 to that.
475 even?
Yep. That's it.
Okay.
Any questions for Bill?
And Kit wins the bank statements.
Okay, I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay.
So, entertain a motion to approve the payment of the vouchers as audited. Mike Malone, Mike Chura seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll make the motion.
Diane, second by Chura. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, so we got, going backwards here, we got the treasurer's report done. And approved. Okay. So now we're down to truck maintenance now.
Currently, well, letter 1 was corrected at LI. Truck 2 is still there.
It's at Allied again today for the rear end alignment. They did the front end and they needed parts for the rear.
That's overnight.
Should be done tomorrow.
Okay. And squad 1 and 2 both had check engine lights, and Luke was working on that today with Hudson and Mullins.
Are they still in service when if they're not at Hudson Mullins?
When they come back.
If they're back here, I don't know if
Not back.
Oh,
they're still there.
I stopped by there at 4 o'clock, well, 3 o'clock. I was gonna try to lock the back compartment being outside, but we don't have keys for those locks, so as of right now, Squad 2's not been serviced yet. Squad 1 was inside their truck bay. But they said they're just gonna pull it inside tonight and leave it. So, okay.
That's all. Building maintenance. Quotes for door replacement. This would be Kelly Brothers.
Yeah, I need to get a couple more quotes from a couple other door companies so that we can get a handle on what we've got going on here. This is just for Station 1. So we've got some deterioration of the metal around the doors and the door frames and the sweeper and the tread. So we need to get a couple more quotes for that. So I'm going to see if I can get some other guys in here. Getting a handle on it, yeah.
Charlie suggested that we call Brainer because they have done other door work for us. I don't know whether man doors, but I know overhead doors. Okay, so that's, I see in the packet the, somewhere here, I saw the roof replacement. Here they are. Station 2 roof replacement quotes. And if we decide to go that far, they have to be publicly bid.
And I thought we were just going to have them take a look at the leak and give me a quote on the leak that's over on that side near the tower. But they went ahead and did a quote for the whole roof. One was quite extensive as opposed to the other. So, plus on top of that, Chief Root and I went to the garage here off Station 1, and that roof also is 25, 30 years old. And it's got a few areas of of water penetration coming through the shingles, and we don't want to lose that either, so if we do that, we might want to get a quote on,
I think that's the original roof.
The 310.
yeah.
Would we want to think about putting a metal roof on there?
I don't know, that's a good question, a metal roof versus a tap roof.
They're a little more expensive, but they last a long time.
Have to look at metal versus asphalt.
And usually they just put those strips on, they can put it on right over the existing roof.
I'll get a quote on that.
Okay.
Also, the flags that we have, they look a little weather torn,
We got a couple in the storeroom.
For what?
the flags.
American flags?
Yeah, because the one out here is getting a little ragged on the end.
I'll get looking.
I don't know what station two and headquarters looks like. I don't know how often we change them out. It'd be nice to have,
When they start to look ratty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have some spare.
okay, thank you.
Any other building maintenance?
No, I'm still working on trying to resolve the issue of Station 2's floor. I guess it's very slippery when it's wet.
Oh, yes.
And
It's
I
been
looked-
like that since they installed it.
And I've looked at that. They do have some epoxies that can go over it, but the problem is that when you go over the epoxies, the lines won't stick to it. So that's the other problem.
Well,
So
the other issue is, if you do an epoxy type, you do the main floor in one color, and then do another epoxy, like take it off or divide it off, so you can put a different color in for the lines. So you do a grayish for the floor, and then put a yellow down for your epoxy for your stripes.
I have to look into that because it says you either have to grind it to prepare it, or muriatic acid over it to wash
Get all
it,
the grease and oil and
to get all the
everything
grease and oil off and then that would take your lines off. So it doesn't seem like it's a one-day project.
No, it's a tedious project.
It might be like a 3-part project for each individual stall, so we'll have to look into that.
Yeah, and when we did the school's hallways, they came in with a bead blaster and bead blasted all the old hallway up. And then it was a process of putting down the sand and everything else, and then the clear coat for epoxy and everything on top of that. And it lasts. It holds up pretty good and everything else. They just did it at the top floor at the high school, and it's hard to push a broom across it.
Yeah, that's the downfall, is once you put the epoxy down with a grit, you can't use the squeegees on it
No.
anymore.
No, but you won't be able to use the squeakies on it anymore. It'll soft dry, but then again, you won't slip on it because you got the grip of the epoxy.
So we'll have to look into that a little more.
Yep.
I know we're kind of running out of time for being this September, October.
Right.
But we'll just have to be careful with,
Yeah, wintertime comes, walking on that floor is a little tricky, so you just take your time, that's all.
okay. But I'm looking into it.
Yep.
Are you looking at upstateonedayfloors.com? Is that one of your companies? They've been advertising on TV a lot. Upstateonedayfloors.com.
Okay.
We'll make note of that, Bart.
Thank you.
There's a Syracuse office, not just Binghamton, Charles. They were on last night.
Thank you.
Steering committee, the meeting that was scheduled in September was very poor attendance. I mean, we didn't hold the meeting because there was poor attendance expected. So the next meeting is scheduled for October 7th. And I've got confirmation from several people saying that that was a good date. So right now we're talking about October 7th. And this month it would be Charlie and myself as the commissioners attending. Fire prevention.
Nothing at this time. We'll be working on the prevention with the schools as we go into the season.
Old business, policy review. This is the revision of SOG 03-017. Chief indicated he's working on that.
Yep.
Okay, so that's, carry that over. New York class. Now, I distributed to the commissioners, and I think it's in the packet here, about the New York Cooperative Liquid Asset Security System called New York Class. And I know of many municipalities and fire districts who are using this. I asked Bill to talk to them at the Turning Stone at the vendor show, and you had some discussion with them?
Yes. We have a rep that lives right in our district. A rep.
Okay, well, that's always helpful. There's no transaction fees. They are, the funds are collateralized, which general municipal law or town law requires that the investments be collateralized. Right now, they're getting a little over 5% on deposits. So I guess what do you think around the table about this?
Looks like a way to make some money. Better way to invest the money.
Security.
Yeah.
Go, please.
Hello? It looks like a good investment of our money.
I emailed Joe Frank and said, you know, obviously they're not FDIC. And, you know, like your bank accounts are insured by the federal government. So that is not the case, but they are collateralized. And I emailed him and said, hey, you know, what's up with that? And he said that according to general municipal law, our investments need to be collateralized. And that's the requirement, and these are collateralized. And he said that it's proven to be a good investment tool for districts, you know, for municipalities. The money is available, same day availability of funds, 12 p.m. Cutoff, so if we need the funds the next day, we can get them. Generally, I don't think we would get ourselves into that situation, but our investment policy, which we approve every year at our organizational meeting, says that the treasurer, with guidance of the Board of Fire Commissioners, invests the funds of the fire district. So Bill would be authorized to do these things, but we would give him guidance on what, you know, how much money do you want? Do you want to take money from the reserve funds and put it there? Do you want money from the general fund to go there? You know, we would have to give him guidance on that.
Bill, what have you got for us?
Okay, if you use the reserve, you don't want to close out any of those accounts. So you only want to take some money out. But I think that's your first bet. I would go that route. And then we got the general fund, the money market. And when we used to do the CDs, then I would take out part of that money for a 30-day CD and a 40-day. So all of that can be done. But I have to know in advance, you know, because I have to plan so much money is available for each month to pay your bills. Especially now with payroll, it's bigger than it was. But yes, it earns a good interest. I would suggest going with the reserves first, just that, see how that goes, and then we can always take the money out of the next year, not now, the general fund.
I was at a board meeting, state board meeting this weekend, and one of the directors from Southern Tier said that several districts in their region have gone this way. And all of a sudden, their local commercial bank is saying, oh, we can give you more. We can give you, instead of the 1% we can give you, now we can give you 3. Right. But they're not coming up to the 5 in any way, shape, or manner. Right. And what are we earning?
Yeah, about the 3. I called the M&T, and they hem and haw, no, we've got more overhead, we've got more this, we can't give you the same. So they weren't willing to come up either. I'm not sure exactly what we're getting, but it's, I don't know. Because it's a commercial bank, again, we're different than the private, but lower.
So do you think that if we went with this, we go back to the treasurer's report and we look at the reserve accounts, the reserve fund for contingency and tax stabilization, 43,000. We don't know of any tax cases happening right now. How much money do we need to leave then to keep the account open?
That I'm not sure of.
Even if we, okay, $500.
Right, you just don't want to close them out and then you'll never get them back.
Right. So if we said 42.5 of that reserve could go. The equipment reserve, we use that a little more often, but that's 278. And we do have something outstanding on a permissive referendum for the equipment, right?
Yes, the 63,000 turnout, yeah.
And that comes out of that, so maybe, 175 or 200 of that. What's 175? Then the capital improvement, we've got a permissive referendum out on a roof. Maybe we could do like 700 of that. And then the apparatus reserve, we're going to need money when the rescue pumper number 1 comes in. We're going to need money. Maybe we ought to, but that won't be until, when's that going to be delivered, do you think, Mike?
Still end of December, January.
Okay, so we could get a couple of months' interest on, so we could do like, 650 or something like that.
I'd like to say it'll be the end of December because they'd like to push it and have it signed and a check in the hand by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Close out their books.
But because the money's available quickly, it's not like tying it up in a CD for 30 days or 90 days, 6 months. Okay, so would you want to just do those amounts and then wait on the general fund, or do you want to put some of the general fund money in?
Well, because all of it would come.
The money market.
Yeah, all of it would come, we wouldn't do anything past December, so I'd have that money back at some point in December for the general fund.
think we could put some of that money market in. Should we leave that to Bill's discretion?
I was going to ask you too, on these amounts, not set in stone, let me have some wiggle room there. I know what you want to do. Maybe it's going to be 640,000 or
Yeah.
depending on when I, okay?
But these are
This is your
general.
okay.
Okay. So I guess we really need to, do we want, obviously we want to enroll in this program. We would authorize, so I'll make the motion that we authorize Bill to sign the documents to enroll in New York class. And start with the amounts discussed at tonight's meeting.
And then whether it's, when talking with them, whether it's a 30-day or 60-day
Right.
thing too, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Then, so Bill would sign the resolution to enroll us, but we need more than one person to be able to make decisions and sign, and I think probably Bill and Amy as the deputy treasurer, and perhaps a commissioner in addition. Does anybody want to be that person? I'm willing to do it if you're agreeable, but if somebody really has a desire, let me know. Well, okay, so it's Dwyer, Amy, and myself. So I made that motion. Chair seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
So really, I think, and Amy, correct me here, there is a municipal cooperation resolution. So basically, I made the motion that we participate, and in the minutes, I think Amy would say, do the language of the municipal cooperation resolution. Is that right, Amy? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I guess my motion, if I correct it a little bit, say, okay, I make the motion that we authorize Bill to participate and adopt the resolution to participate, just so we know that we did the right thing. Okay, we didn't vote on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. There. So that takes care of all business. Is there any new business?
Are we going to go over the SOG for the personal vehicle response that's been tabled since April? Are we moving forward on that or not yet?
I mentioned that in, Chief has got that on his desk. So what's your report on that?
I did report already that we're still working on it.
I'll think I'm sure we don't get.
Did we make a decision on what vehicle we're going to start putting up for sale first? I know we spoke about that back in August. And I thought you said you needed a week to think about it.
Which vehicle we're waiting for the report back from Colvin, from the mechanic. He and I have to meet. They just finished the PMs, so he and I are going to meet now, and I'm more than willing to bring you in on it if you want to be part of that discussion.
All right.
You want to do it?
All right, thank you.
You want to be part of it?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, you and me will get the mechanic and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, any new business?
We have the group life insurance renewal. The rate has gone up slightly. It's a $41 monthly change in premium. So based on the number of people we have, it's approximately $492 increase a year, which will bring it to about $14,228. We just submitted the census, so I don't have a final bill and number for that, but it should be that or a little bit less maybe. So we need to renew the group life renews November 1st, I believe.
What did we budget for that?
I don't know. I think we
budgeted 20,000.
Yeah.
how much? We
20.
20? Yeah, so we're fine.
Okay, we have public comments.
Are we renewing that?
What?
Are we renewing the group life?
Oh, yeah, okay. Entertain a motion to approve the group life for the coming year. Mike Chura? Mike Malone? All in favor? Opposed? And then just, I mean, that is the fire department active numbers are covered by the flood. Okay. Now public comments? Mark, you have your hand up.
Yeah, just a couple of them. Thank you to Bill for providing the income for your paid EMTs. It is under the line of January through August, is that correct? The payroll on page 2?
All right, page what, 2?
Page 2.
Yep, okay.
You got it listed as 10 members under the actual budget of January through August, or is that just for?
Oh, no, that payment would just be for, I think that's the last payroll, August 25th.
Okay,
Yes, but the 14 would be right below that, part-time firefighters, that would be everything.
so that's the whole total for the year?
Yes.
But the ones that, because the question I was gonna ask was, you got 3 members that have only worked 1 day. That's what I was that's all I wanted to clarify of when the payroll was. So that's the payroll of August.
Yeah, but that, just the 25th, that was, because it would have been after our meeting that I did this.
Yep,
And so one pay would have already happened.
right.
Yeah, so that's just one pay.
Okay, so for payroll, how does the district do their payroll? Every 2 weeks? What's their payroll period?
They are every 2 weeks,
So it's a 2-week basis?
but some of us are monthly.
Right. But because your EMTs, part-time EMTs, they're done hourly,
Right, it's 2 weeks.
so it's every 2 weeks. So out of the 2 weeks period, you had 3 members only work 1 day, covering the shifts. Okay. Where I would have thought that was part of their contingency, was to work more than 1 day out of a 2-week period. I understand they all have lives and all that, but if we were gonna budget for 10 members, it seems like 2 of your guys have been doing a lot of the coverage. But no, I like that, how it's breaking it all down so people can see it. The other comment I had was, if our treasurer can do this type of report for us, I have asked for over 5 months for the report of what your longevity plan is for the pay department. I asked again for 5 months of how did you come up with the numbers, which we did see that at that one presentation to the public. Questions were asked, but comment was made, we don't need to answer them. This was a formality only. But as a taxpayer, we'd still like to see what your plan is in the future-wise of how much, how many guys, and everything else, because you got 10 members here, well, 9, 10, but you don't have a plan for the public. You guys might all have a plan, the board there, but as the public itself, we don't know anything. We haven't seen anything since that presentation by a previous commissioner you had, because it was a formality that had to be covered. Again, questions were asked, but they were never answered. So again, going on tape again, I would like to see a copy of the report or the presentation or whatever you have for the paid portion of our department going down the road for the taxpayers to see. What's it going to cost them? What's your projected down there? And everything else. Again, that's just a simple question that hasn't been covered. The other question I have is for Chief Root. Just to follow up on 21's electrical whip for the generator for the lights. Are we going to make progress with that, or?
It's going to depend on the report that I'm going to, now, the meeting I'm going to have with Diane.
The mechanics?
If that thing's going to be going down the road in a couple months.
Okay.
Maybe not doing it.
Okay. I just wondering, because now that daylight savings and everything else, it's getting darker earlier around rush hour time and everything else. So that was my concern about that one. And the other one I have is, how has our response time been? Where I've heard there have been times up here where we've only had one EMT on during a shift. So when you have 10 members paid, how are we still having only sometimes a void in that hourly between 10 and 8 and 6? Again, it's tough. It's a hard thing to do, but you got paid members that aren't even coming in here to work shifts, but you expect your volunteers to come in here free and answer the calls. But you're paying an EMT from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. You have one guy on for a shift, so you're not even filling your 2 people position. But you're expecting us as volunteers to be there and answer every single call. But you can't provide 2 members that you're paying for the taxpayers. So that is just one of my other concerns that I have. You keep putting down your volleys, but they're not getting paid. Your paid guys have the opportunity to come here and work and get $23 an hour, and they're not. Unfortunately, you've got positions that aren't getting filled because prior commitments and everything else, just like us with the volleys. We have prior commitments and everything else, but we're being scrutinized because of it. You have your paid guys that just, they have other job commitments, family commitments, and everything else. So you need to kind of back off on the volunteers doing their job the best they can with the time frame that we have. Don't hold a lot of stuff against us because we're just doing it for free and they're getting paid. And this is also helping offset their retirement in the future. We don't get a retirement out of this. I joined this thing 37 years ago, not for the money, but to help the public. And that's why I joined it. And still here, haven't gone yet. But that's all I have to say that I could see on the reports and everything else. Thank you.
In October of 2022, at the October 17th meeting, as the minutes read, in addition, we have contracted with Brian Felice to coordinate the EMS pilot program records and training. There was no statement of how much he was paid, although out of the October 17th vouchers, he was paid $1,500. At this point in time, I've not seen any reports coming either through the chief, who apparently he reports to, or to you as commissioners here at a meeting, as to his activities. And it's coming due on him being re-upped as a contract, I assume, but since there's been no report, how will you know if he is fulfilling his responsibilities to the district if you have not seen any reports? And since there was no money mentioned in the minutes, I think that's a little bit of an issue with your minutes also, by the way. I had to go back to the vouchers to find the amount he was paid.
That there are activity reports that would show the times that he has come and done drills with the EMS people. So I think those activity reports would certainly document the times that he has spent here, but some of his work is also keeping track of the EMT renewals and all that stuff and everything, so that would be outside of the actual in-person work.
Should there not be some sort of report?
Activity reports have been submitted whenever Mr. Felice does any training, whenever he's in doing training. I can say he is tracking the EMTs and their renewals, and I found that out because I received a letter from the state congratulating me on being an EMT. And my renewal card was attached.
I think Diane just got one too, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you didn't get your renewal?
She's not ready. She's
Yeah.
not up
She-
yet.
oh, okay.
So I point that out to you because shame on me, I had lost track with the extensions and all of that of when I was due to renew. And when my card needed to be renewed, I should take care of that. Totally unaware of it until I received the letter. When I opened it up, there was the letter. So obviously, I'll say Brian's doing his job because that I overlooked it, I didn't catch it, and he is staying on top of that.
Yeah. He's done quite a few of our renewals.
Yeah.
And he's working on the ones that are
If
not
the fire commissioners wish, at the commissioners meeting, I can make a report each month about the activities that Instructor Felice or the paid staff are doing in relationship to EMS drills, if that's something you would like.
Well, I don't know whether, I guess it's up to us whether we want a monthly report, but perhaps a synopsis of what he has accomplished before we renew his contract.
When's his contract due?
Well, according to the minutes, it was the October.
Barb, talking to the commissioners.
Kid, look
When's
to me.
Commissioner Thompson, when is his contract due?
I don't know that.
When you get that date, let me know, and then I can work with the chief, and we'll put a summary together of what he's accomplished this year, so that you have an accounting of his efforts this past year.
There it is. 17 minutes. There's the minutes, the page from the minutes.
So, it's the October 17th meeting, and without looking at that contract, I don't know the date that it is, was it October 17th or was it October 25th? I don't. So, we'll work on that. I'll let you know.
I'll send you an email requesting that. It's kind of a reminder to you that I requested it, and then when you give it to me, I'll start working with the chief, we'll put a report together.
My understanding is that the $1,500 that he was charging was a small amount according to what he said he would do, and he's done more than what he said he would do. I think that, was he supposed to come once or twice for in-house training, and
I
he's...
think quarterly.
Quarterly.
Yeah, and he's certainly done that.
I think we're due for one.
It's quarterly.
Yeah.
I think it was a good investment, but we'll get to that, getting a report before his renewal.
And do we have statistics as to response and number of calls and such like I asked for back in?
Yes, Barb, I have those.
Thank you, Diane.
So for up from 7/17 to 8/17, we had a total of, you can have this sheet too, 69 calls. Total number volunteers responded to all 69. The paid responded to 27 of them. We had a total of 572 volunteers responding for those total of 69 calls, with an average of 9 volunteers per call.
Diane,
Yes,
how many chiefs respond to all them?
I don't have that number.
Can we
How many
get-
are
can we get
EMTs
that
responding
sometime
to
down the
them?
line?
I can get all that.
Thank you.
I can get that for you too.
Okay,
I think it's 7/17 to 8/17.
any other public comments? So I would move that we move to executive session to discuss, okay, it's what, G. Okay, I guess that's it.